It was the time and place to be. Harlem, New York City during the 1920s, where from these working-class neighborhoods sprang a complete cultural movement. Also known as the New Negro Movement, the Harlem Renaissance generated new and influential innovations in all realms of art. But like all cultural movements, the Harlem Renaissance had its humble beginnings. Our story begins with the First Great Migration, which took place from about 1910 to 1929. The First Great Migration was the mass exodus of almost 1 million Southern blacks. These blacks fled the South to escape the segregation and racial tensions from the KKK and the passage of black codes, mainly the Jim Crow laws. Some black artists, like Jacob Lawrence, chronicled the hardships of the First Great Migration in paintings. Desperate for new and better homes, these migrating black families clustered in northern urban areas, like Harlem. About 200,000 black immigrants made their way into Harlem from 1910 to 1929. The timing is right for these migrating job seekers, for World War I forced the majority of the male labor force to fight in the war, leaving behind unfilled factory jobs. In past years, immigrants would fill these factory jobs, but recent legislation like the Emergency Quota Act of 1921 and later the Immigration Act of 1924 dramatically reduced further immigration into the states. As black families migrated north during the Great Migration, they brought with them their southern traditions, some of which were their musical traditions. In Harlem, these musical traditions evolved into new musical genres, like blues and swing jazz. With such legendary venues as the Con Club, music lovers, both black and white, met together to hear the innovative sounds of jazz artists like Bessie Smith, Duke Ellington, and, most famous of all, Louis Armstrong.
Now when the Saints go marching in,
The new upbeat tempo of swing jazz also paved the way for new, energetic dance forms. Of the many dance forms that evolved parallel to jazz music, one of the most energetic Harlem dance styles was Lindy Hop, which combined jazz, tap, breakaway, and the Charleston. With the explosion of culture in Harlem, many black intellectuals began to challenge black stereotypes and reevaluate the African American experience, primarily through literature. Prominent writers included Claude McKay, Langston Hughes, and Zora Neale Hurston. As these writers strived to break away from black stereotypes to forge a new African American identity, they sought empowerment through their literature. In his poem, I Too, Langston Hughes simplistically, yet beautifully sums up the empowerment the black community sought. Tomorrow, I'll sit at the table when company comes. Nobody'll dare say to me, eat in the kitchen then. They'll see how beautiful I am and be ashamed. I too am America.